Hi there, I'm Erica CHAFKIN, Founder and Chief Empowerment Officer, otherwise known as the CEO, of the website datewithpower.com, where you can find powerful practical solutions to your biggest dating struggles. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about chemistry. Did you know that there are actually two different types of chemistry? Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain what the two types of chemistry are and which one leads to the happy, committed relationship you desire. I want to start off by asking, what words come to your mind when you think of chemistry, as it relates to romantic relationships, of course? If you're like most people, you probably think of words like passion, lust, attraction, and desire. Now, while all those words are definitely valid, I found that there are actually two distinct types of chemistry. The first type is called toxic chemistry, and this occurs when chemistry and passion form the primary basis of your relationship. In other words, the relationship revolves mainly around sex and lust, and there isn't much else to sustain it. For example, you and he have very little in common, but the sex is off the charts. Or he treats you like crap, but you keep dating him anyway because you're so attracted to him. Here are some other signs that you might have toxic chemistry in your relationship. Things get hot and heavy right from the get-go, sometimes as early as the first date. You're totally consumed by your desire for him. You can't stop thinking about him. It's hard to focus on other areas of your life, such as your career, family, and your regular day-to-day activities. Every aspect of your daily existence is dominated by thoughts of him and your relationship together. No matter how hard you try, you can't seem to get him out of your head. It's almost like a toxic infatuation. You start envisioning a future with him after only 1 or 2 dates. In the back of your mind, you're already planning where you'll go on vacation together, where the two of you will live when you get married, what your kids will look like, and so on. You frequently feel nervous and on edge when you're with him. This is because you get such intense butterflies in your stomach that it's nearly impossible to feel relaxed and at ease in his presence. You're afraid to be yourself and express your needs and feelings, out of fear you'll do or say the wrong thing and scare him away. Instead, you just go along with whatever he wants, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Sadly, most relationships based on toxic chemistry don't usually last very long. They often start out all fiery and passionate, only to end in heartbreak and tears. There are actually 3 reasons why toxic chemistry leads to such unhappy endings. Reason number 1 is it blinds you to any red flags, deal breakers, or major character flaws that your partner might have. Or if you do notice them, you just ignore them rather than heeding them as warning signs that you're with the wrong person. For example, many years ago, I had a 5-month relationship with a man who was super good looking, but the problem was he was an asshole. He was arrogant, inconsiderate, and treated me horribly. But despite all his asshole tendencies, I was extremely hung up on him and couldn't get him out of my head. Since I was so attracted to him, I always saw him through rose-colored glasses and made excuses for all of his terrible behavior. I'll never forget the time I went to his place, thinking we'd spend the whole weekend together. But much to my dismay, on Saturday afternoon, he told me he'd have to take me home early since he had plans to meet Heather that evening for dinner and a Broadway show. In other words, he was seeing another woman later that same day. According to him, Heather was supposedly just a good friend, but I had a feeling there was a lot more between them than just plain old friendship. Anyway, you'd think that after being ditched for another woman, I would have ditched him right away. But no, I just pretended to be cool about the whole situation and told him, okay, we'll just make up for the lost time together next weekend. I kid you not, I actually said that. He must have thought I was so desperate and pathetic, and sure enough, I did go out with him the following weekend as if nothing had happened. Do you see how toxic chemistry totally clouded my judgment and prevented me from thinking clearly about my relationship? I mean, here is a man who basically told me outright that he was seeing someone else, but I was so caught up in my intense desire for him that I couldn't bear the thought of walking away. That's why toxic chemistry is so dangerous. Once you fall under its spell, logic and common sense go right out the window. The second reason why toxic chemistry is dangerous is because it's too much too soon. Love takes time and relationships take time to grow and develop. If you rush right into all the hot and heavy stuff very early on, you won't have a chance to get to know him well first to see if he's actually a good person besides just a good lover. Because remember what we learned in high school biology class. Sex causes us to release oxytocin, the hormone that bonds us to our partner. And once that oxytocin starts flowing, it becomes harder and harder for us to break that bond, even if we know he's Mr. Wrong. Reason number 3 is chemistry alone is not enough to make a relationship last. Think of romantic relationships like a pie, with chemistry being just one piece of that pie. If your pie only contains that one piece, it might be very tasty, but I guarantee it ain't gonna last very long. It'll quickly be consumed, and before you know it, there'll be nothing left. But if your pie contains many other pieces besides chemistry, such as respect, honesty, kindness, integrity, and loyalty, that'll make for one long-lasting, delicious dessert. Because while chemistry is definitely important, it's not everything. You and your partner can have the hottest, most amazing chemistry on earth, but if you're missing those other crucial pieces of the pie, your relationship's probably not going to last too long. After many years of dating, I've found that the best relationships have what I like to call healthy chemistry, because it usually leads to healthy, long-lasting relationships that are mutually satisfying for both people. So what is healthy chemistry? Healthy chemistry is characterized by strong physical attraction, plus what I refer to as the 3 C's of successful relationships, the first of which is compatibility. Besides being attracted to one another, you also have to be able to get along well outside of the bedroom, and that means having other things in common like similar core values and relationship goals. The second C of successful relationships is comfort. When you're with him, you feel relaxed and at ease. You're comfortable just being yourself, unlike toxic chemistry when you're nervous and on edge most of the time. The third C is communication. You both talk openly and honestly to each other without fearing rejection. If there's something bothering you, you talk to him about it. If there's something you need him to do, you politely ask him to do it. Unlike toxic chemistry, where you tend to keep your needs and feelings locked up inside, with healthy chemistry, you feel comfortable and safe expressing what's on your mind. In a relationship with healthy chemistry, both you and your partner take adequate time to get to know each other well first before having sex. And when you do finally have sex, you feel secure in knowing that your relationship is based on much more than just lust and physical attraction. With healthy chemistry, your level of passion and desire for your partner grows stronger, not weaker, with time. That's because there's so much more to your relationship than just raw physical attraction. Not only is he someone you're deeply attracted to, he's also your best friend and trusted partner. The two of you get along well together both inside and outside the bedroom. Do you see how different this type of relationship is from one based on toxic chemistry? With healthy chemistry, you and your partner share not only a strong physical attraction, but also a rock-solid emotional connection. This emotional connection is what healthy, lasting relationships are built upon. It enables your love to keep growing and expanding day after day, year after year. It's the glue that solidifies the ironclad commitment that you and your partner have. It's what gives your relationship staying power during the tough, challenging times that inevitably will occur in life. physical attraction, no matter how strong, cannot be the only component of your relationship. There's got to be something else besides chemistry to sustain it and keep it going. And that something else is the rock-solid emotional connection I just mentioned, because without it, the entire foundation of your relationship will eventually crumble and collapse. So if you're only looking for a casual short-term fling that's based solely on lust and passion, then by all means, go for toxic chemistry. But if your goal is to have a happy, fulfilling, lifelong relationship, then I cannot overemphasize the importance of healthy chemistry. It's the secret sauce for long-term relationship success. So how do you avoid getting blinded by chemistry, especially when you're out with someone you really like and are really attracted to? There are actually two ways, and they both go hand in hand. The first way is to know your relationship needs and honor them at all times. Your relationship needs are like must-have criteria for your partner. They're the qualities, personality traits, and core values that your partner must have in order for your relationship to be successful. If even just one of your relationship needs is missing, you'll never feel completely fulfilled or satisfied, no matter how good-looking he is. Once you're clear on what your relationship needs are, you can easily weed out the men who are wrong for you and instead focus more of your time, energy, and attention on men who do have the qualities you're seeking in a long-term partner. While chemistry should definitely be one of your relationship needs, you've got to have others as well. Remember the pie analogy. Strong lust and attraction are great, but when real life sets in and you've got bills to pay, kids to take care of, or if illness strikes or one of you loses your job, you're going to need a lot more than just hot, passionate sex to keep your relationship going. I remember the time back in 2015 when my husband and I were still dating and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. We had been together for a year and a half and I was feeling fine. I had no symptoms, so the news came as a complete shock. I felt like my whole world had been turned upside down. What helped me get through that whole cancer ordeal was his kindness, compassion, and unwavering support, not the time we spent together in the bedroom. His unrelenting love and support got me through 2 surgeries plus a 6-week course of radiation. I knew I could count on him to be there for me no matter what, and to me, that was sexier than sex itself. The reason I'm telling you this is because when life throws you a major curveball, you've got to have someone who's not just good in bed, but also a good person with a good heart who will be there to support you and help you get through it. My breast cancer experience was an extremely trying time, not just for me, but also for him, and I assure you there's no way we could have gotten through it had our relationship been built solely on sex and chemistry. Because let me tell you, when you have 2 lumpectomies and 6 weeks of radiation, you don't look or feel too sexy. It's only because he met all my relationship needs in both good and bad times that we were able to weather the storm of my breast cancer ordeal and come out of it even more in love than we were before I had cancer. So if you don't want to get blinded by chemistry, you've got to know your relationship needs and honor them at all times. You have to make sure that besides just turning you on, your man is meeting all of your relationship needs on a regular, consistent basis. He can't just be meeting them once a week or once a month. He has to be doing it consistently over time. Which leads me to my next point. The second way to avoid getting blinded by chemistry is to take it slow, especially when your relationship is first starting out. Before becoming too sexually involved with a man, please spend some time getting to know him well first. No matter how good-looking he is, resist the temptation to sleep with him until you feel confident that he's a good man with good character and integrity, and that he satisfies every one of your relationship needs. Now, I know you might be thinking, "Oh, but Erica, that takes a long time." But you see, that's exactly my point, ladies. A healthy, committed relationship doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time to grow and develop. It takes time to really get to know your partner's true colors. And when I say time, I'm talking about several weeks to a few months, not just 2 or 3 dates. You know the old saying, slow and steady wins the race? Well, that's definitely the case when it comes to building a successful long-term relationship. As dating guru Christian Anderson always says, the slower you go, the faster you get there. And that's coming from a man, not to mention a very sexy, good-looking man. Now, this doesn't mean you have to wait an eternity before having sex with your partner. What it does mean is that you should hold off on having sex until you're confident that he's a good man who meets all your relationship needs. So that wraps up everything I'm going to say about chemistry for now. I know I covered a lot here, so I just want to quickly recap the key points of this presentation. First, if you want to have a meaningful, satisfying long-term relationship, aim for healthy chemistry. Second, always date with your relationship needs in mind. Know that you deserve a man who not only turns you on, but also treats you well and meets all of your relationship needs. Third, take your time in getting to know him. Hold off on having sex until he's repeatedly demonstrated that he's a man of good character and integrity and that he's genuinely interested in building a relationship with you. In my next video, I'll talk about what to do if you've already fallen for Mr. Wrong and how to break free from the throes of toxic chemistry. So if you tend to get hopelessly hung up on the wrong guy and can't seem to break away because you're so attracted to him, then this next video is for you. I'll teach you 3 ways to get him out of your head forever so you can move on to someone else you're not only attracted to on a physical level, but also an emotional and spiritual level as well. I posted a link to this next video in the notes below, so feel free to check it out. In the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic day ahead. And remember, whenever you date, always remember to date with power. I'll see you in the next video.